Okay po, at pag-usapan natin tong alleged bribery attempt sa REMULLA brothers ng isang contractor at ng congressman daw po. So, ang pinaka-facts po nito, unang-una ang nangyari, meron pong attempt na 1 billion yung in-offer kay DILG Secretary REMULLA at kay Ombudsman Boying REMULLA para itigil na yung investigation sa contractor at sa congressman na involved daw po sa flood control issue. And then, nung tinanggihan po yun ni Secretary Jonvic, ang allegation sa po niya ngayon is that tinaasan daw yung offer at naging 2 billion each na po. So, kung makita po nyo, REMULLA said he and Ombudsman Jesus Crispin REMULLA were offered 2 billion each, which he said they rejected. So this is the second bribery attempt na daw po kay Secretary Jonvic at sa kapatid niyang kay Ombudsman Boying. So this was 4 hours ago lang po, as of today, January 16, 2026. Itong article po na fina-flash ko sa inyo from Philippine Star. Okay, so ang magiging discussion po talaga natin is whether or not may possible liability pa yung messenger daw po ng isang contractor at ng congressman na nag-offer nung bribery nga kala Secretary at Ombudsman REMULLA. And then pangalawa po, i-discuss lang din natin yung legal theory or legal principle kung sa ganun na may offer nang nangyari ay pwede na ba sana arestuhin yung alleged nag-offer nga po nung bribery na messenger daw ng contractor o nung congressman. Okay, so yan po ang magiging discussion natin for today. At para po mas klaro tayo, ipapakita ko muna yung actual statements po unang-una ni Secretary Jonvic in relation to this alleged bribery attempt, and then yung reaction din ni Ombudsman REMULLA. And then yung ipa-flash ko pong video is from Inquirer.net sa Facebook page nila. So this was uploaded by Inquirer po January 14, 7:26 PM. So medyo matagal na, 2 days ago na po. But in this video po kasi mas in-explain ni Secretary Jonvic kung paano nangyari yung alleged first bribery attempt. Okay, so anyway po, panoorin natin.
Through an intermediary, nakaibigan ko, nakaibigan din niya, pinabanggit sa akin kung pwede daw. Sabi ko, ginawa ko, sabi ko, wala yung usap ng ganyan. Hihigil ko din yung usapan. Ito sa possibility for me and my brother to quiet down things para hindi sila maintay.
According to the secretary, the bribe attempt was from one suspect, but he says he doesn't really know much about the suspect. Secretary REMULLA also says he immediately informed President Bongbong Marcos of the offer.
Isang client lang, isang isang suspect. I don't know them kasi I've never spent time in Congress, diba? I've always been in the local government, so hindi ko sila kilala masyado. So may mga kaibigan sila, nakaibigan ko rin. It was a private meeting, and I informed the President immediately that what was going on. And we said, okay, he acknowledged he knows that this is going to happen, but he acknowledged na tama yung ginawa ko na napagkita na ako.
So this one po, I am just going to be reacting on what was actually stated by Secretary Jonvic para klaro po talaga tayo. So again, ang sabi po ni Secretary Jonvic, private meeting. Okay? So pag private meeting, hindi rin naman po niya sinabi na virtual meeting, so the assumption now is that they were actually there face-to-face physically based on this statement po niya. Okay? Ngayon naman po, panoorin natin yung kay Ombudsman Boying.
Ngayon na, ang problema kasi ang lipunan natin, napakarami natin interconnection sa bawat isa. Na minsan, flimsy na, wala na talagang basis ang magiging usapan. A friend of a friend of a friend. Sa atin, ma-identify mo ba, pero yung connection na yun, very flimsy. Kasi kung yan ay pinigay na hindi usapan natin, yan ay direction ng inausap na nang talaga nag-aalok. Kaya stado na yung fact na wala a friend of a friend na hindi matibay ang basihan. Pero alam mo, may pinagdadalingan, pero hindi matibay, hindi tatayo eh. Hindi titindig sa kaso. Kaya hindi ilulihan. Pero he learned his lesson there. Na marami talaga gusto makipag-usap, maraming gusto mag-go with sa society natin. That's how our society functions. Yung lipunan natin, gano'n talaga, diba? Yung kaibigan mo, ang sabi, maganda na bumili doon sa lugar na yun. Di lahat yun, bumili doon, diba? Kasi, yun talaga networking natin dito sa bansa.
Can you confirm isang contractor doon? May congressman na?
Hindi ko pwede yung maniliwan. Kasi, hindi ako kausap. Sa pinag-usapan na lang, sabi ko sa kanya. Basta ganyan, tingnan mo kung may opportunity na restorin ka. Kasi dapat dyan, kung talaga mayroong direct connection, restorin ka. Kasi ano na yan, bribery na yan. Corruption of public officers yan.
Okay, so unang-una po masasabi ko lang, hindi natin actually narinig kung ano yung actual question ng media kay Ombudsman Boying. So hindi ko sure kung it is whether or not posible bang arestuhin agad on the spot yung nag-offer. Pero yung sagot po ni Ombudsman Boying, from my understanding dito po sa pinlay ko na video, ang dating sa akin ay pwede lang daw arestuhin pag may direct connection na dun sa contractor or congressman yung nag-offer. Although medyo hindi clear, pero parang ganun po yung message na gusto i-convey dito ni Ombudsman Boying. And then he reiterated na because of a friend of a friend of a friend, medyo flimsy na daw yung kaso. So parang ganun po basically yung point ko dito, na because of that, hindi daw pwede mo na arestuhin kasi a friend of a friend, flimsy. And then only pag may direct connection na dun, dapat dun lang daw arestuhin kasi bribery na daw yun or corruption of public officers. Okay, so yan po yung pinaka-facts and discussion natin. And ngayon po, unang-una explain ko muna sa inyo kung ano ba talaga yung bribery and corruption of public officers. And for that po, of course, pupunta lang tayo sa the Revised Penal Code of the Philippines. So, hindi ko na papadaanan yung RA 3019 kasi pwede naman yan ikaso based on this, pero pwede rin po dun sa 3019. But to make the discussion more simplified at mas madaling intindihan, Revised Penal Code na lang po yung magiging main legal basis natin. And then pupunta lang po tayo dyan sa ano po yan, crimes committed by public officers portion po ng RPC. And then pupunta lang po tayo yan sa bribery starting Article 210, 211, and 212. In summary po, ang bribery, ibig sabihin po niyan ay may in-offer kang gift, regalo, or any promise dun sa isa pong public officer para yung public officer na yon ay may gawin na favorable sa'yo. Okay, so yan po yan. And then the difference po ng bribery at ng corruption of public officials is that yung bribery po, yung magiging liable doon is the government official kung tanggapin niya yung regalo, yung gift or promise. Whereas naman po yung corruption of public officials, doon yun mapupunta yung liability sa private individual na nag-offer ng gift or promise. Okay, so in this situation po natin, ang nangyari, merong private individual who is a messenger or intermediary daw po ng isang contractor at ng isang congressman na nag-offer ng 1 billion at naging 2 billion pa nga dun sa second attempt kay Secretary Jonvic at Ombudsman Boying REMULLA. Okay, so as to the private individual po na nag-offer, papasok po yun siya under corruption of public officials. Kasi kung makikita po ninyo, ang definition dito, shall be imposed upon any person who shall have made the offer or promise or given the gifts or presents and described in the preceding articles. So ito po yung preceding articles yan, yung 211 and 210. So in this case, kila Secretary Jonvic at Ombudsman REMULLA, hindi po sila pwede maging liable for direct bribery or indirect bribery kasi hindi naman po nila tinanggap yung gift. According to their press statements, press releases, they rejected the offer. So ngayon, ang posible na talagang maging liable is the private individual who made that offer under Article 212 for corruption of public officials. Yun po yung possible liability nun ng private individual. Ngayon, ang next question, kailangan ba talaga na may direct connection yung messenger na yon dun sa actual contractor at congressman para magkaroon ng liability? Okay? So, ang sagot po dyan is hindi po kailangan ng direct connection kasi the private person himself na nag-offer, kahit na po sabihin niya na inutusan lang siya ni ganyan, he can still be considered as a principal who directly performed the corruption of public officials na crime. Kasi siya po mismo nag-offer nung bribe na 1 billion and then naging 2 billion pa nga po. So kahit na po sabihin mo na inutusan ka lang, ganyan-ganyan, if you are the person who actually made the offer or the promise, then ikaw po yung posibleng maging liable dito for corruption of public officials. Okay? So ngayon, ang next question, paano naman yung mga contractor at yung mga congressman? Meron ba silang possible liabilities dito? So ang mangyayari lang po dyan, kailangan din ma-establish yung direct link nung messenger na yon dun sa congressman para madamay po yung congressman at contractor. Kasi in that situation po, kung malink talaga yan, pwede yan ma-argue na meron ng conspiracy to commit a bribery and or corruption of public officials. So pag ganyan po na may conspiracy, then the principle po na papasok dyan is that the crime of one is the crime of all. So lahat sila nang involved sa conspiracy, sa pagplano, sa pagsindikato ng mga ganitong criminal act ay magkaka-liability. Pero ang kailangan lang po natin tandaan dito, even without directly establishing the link, meron ng possible liability po yung messenger din dito. Kasi siya po yung gumawa ng criminal act ng corruption of public officials by offering the 1 billion and the 2 billion. Okay, so yan po yung medyo klaro na may possible liability in relation to the facts given po ng REMULLA brothers. Pero dun po sa congressman at contractor, hindi pa po yun clearly established kasi sabi-sabi pa lang. Pero kung later on, itong messenger na to, intermediary, sabihin niya inutusan siya tapos may direct talaga siya evidence like may text, emails or whatever, and di dun po pwede ma-argue na yung contractor or congressman is a principal by inducement who induced the intermediary para sabihin yung ganung offer na gift or bribe na 1 billion at 2 billion. Okay, so yan po yung as to the congressman and contractor. But again po, as to the person who allegedly made the 1 billion and 2 billion offer, siya po posibleng may liability na kasi siya yung klaro na at present na principal na gumawa ng actual acts na to. Okay, so hopefully klaro po yan. Okay, and then ngayon po, pupunta naman tayo sa second legal question natin na whether or not pwede na ba arestuhin ang isang individual who allegedly made a bribe attempt or a bribe offer po to a government official, which in this case is si Secretary Jonvic, and according po to Secretary Jonvic ay nangyari po yon in a private meeting. Okay? Okay, at ang sagot po dyan ay makikita natin sa criminal procedure po natin na rules. Okay, and to be specific, nasa Rule 113 po yan, Section 5, Arrest without warrant when lawful. Yung una pong iti-take note natin dito is ito lang, a peace officer or a private person may without a warrant arrest. So kung makita nyo, peace officer or kahit po private individual, meaning an ordinary member of the taong bayan, pwede po mag-aresto without a warrant under letter A, B, or C. Okay, pero dito po in the factual circumstances that was provided to us by Secretary Jonvic and Ombudsman Boying, ang mag-a-apply po is itong letter A. When in his presence, the person to be arrested has committed, is actually committing, or is attempting to commit an offense. So in simple terms po, kung may nakikita kayong isang tao na gumagawa ng krimen sa harap ninyo or nag-a-attempt pa lang po gumawa ng krimen, ay pwede na po yan arestuhin ng isang peace officer or a private person without a warrant. Okay, that is the provisions po on warrantless arrest dito sa bansa natin. So if we apply it now to everything that we have discussed so far, mukhang nasa presence naman po yun ni Secretary Jonvic and company nung nangyari yung alleged bribery attempt, because ang sabi po niya ni Secretary Jonvic, they were in a private meeting. So more or less, like what I explained earlier, since hindi po nakalagay doon na video conference, edi more or less po, harap-harapan yun sila physically, magkasama sila. So kung ganun po talaga ang nangyari, physically magkasama sila, harap-harapan sila, pwede po yun sana arestuhin right then and there. Kasi there was already an alleged bribery attempt nga po. And then, klaro naman po ang nakalagay dito, or is attempting to commit an offense. Diba? So, bribery attempt or attempt to corrupt the public officers, which is the Secretary Jonvic, then that can be argued po na pasok na yan dito under Section 5, letter A. So, in very simple terms po, pwede po arestuhin sana based on that factual circumstances provided to us by Secretary Jonvic, yung individual po, yung messenger intermediary na nag-offer nung bribe na 1 billion. Okay, so hindi na po kailangan yan i-link pa directly dun sa congressman or contractor, because the intermediary himself or the messenger, it can be argued that he also already performed nga yung corruption of public officials. Therefore po, it can be argued na yung messenger actually committed or attempted to commit corruption of public officials in the presence of Secretary Jonvic and company. So in that situation po, pwede na nga po pumasok tong Section 5, letter A. Okay, so yan po ang possible legal implications and mga batas na posible pong mag-apply dun sa mga diniscuss natin based on everything stated ni Secretary Jonvic and Ombudsman Boying Remulla. Okay, so hopefully klaro po yan. If you like more legal videos and current events, subscribe lang po kayo sa YouTube channel ko. And until next time, see you all po. Bye-bye!